Look at this, all these neon colors. What do you see this at first? I thought she was gonna be Havoc, and it makes sense because Havoc seems universal. So neon equals Havoc, it makes sense. And you see this logo right here, this symbol here, it looks purple. I thought it was gonna have a little bit of Electro in it, sure, why not? And this, it could have been Glacio. That is a Glacio Echo keychain on her jacket. I thought she was anything but Spectro. Maybe Spectro here and there, but not so much what I predict. What about her? What about her? What about her? She has a transparent glass looking leg. She seems like she's gonna be handicapped, but oh man, what Kuro did, just I cannot predict anything anymore. She does not look like the type to use Claymore or Broadblade. Her character doesn't speak to me as anything but Glacio. Okay, so Kuro finally revealed the elements and the weapons that these units will be using. Now, I kind of predict that she will be a pistol gun user just because from the looks of it, it kind of makes sense that she has motorbike and she's gonna use guns. I was hoping that in a way that we get some sort of exploration mechanic from her because of that motorbike and she can shoot while driving or something. It seems a bit too much, but Kuro Games has a lot of inspiration from games like Nier Automata, Devil May Cry, or even Bayonetta, right? So this kind of flashy moveset, it made sense for me. But I really wasn't expecting for this unit to be Spectro, because what she has in her whole designs, what they've shown us, she has this small keychain that is basically a Glacio Echo, but instead we got a Spectro unit. She has this whole neon vibe going on. There's a little bit of green there, there's some purple, so I thought it would be maybe Aero or Electro. I was thinking because this graffiti artwork she has around her background and it seems all neon-ish and all that, I was assuming a little bit of Havoc would be in there. But man, it amazed me how everything I predicted from what Kuro's designed from a character and just get the opposite of it. Now we got Lynae here being Spectro. So let's talk about her kits. What is she gonna be? This is exciting, okay? Spectro is a unit that we kind of need the most right now. We haven't gotten Jin C support. This is my theory. What I think she should be is that be a good support for Jin C. Jin C haven't gotten a proper support. We can't keep using Jeje for her. Jeje just do the coordination, attack, and resonance skill, but she doesn't give bonus Spectro attributes. She doesn't do that. So it could be her. But we are also in an era of negative status. We need negative status effect. So I want Lynae here to give Spectro Frazzle. Now you may be thinking I'm being a little bit too greedy here, but I think old units should be capable of using negative status as well. How do you do that in a character? Like you use a different character. You give a character that has an ability to make other units able to use negative status. And for this Lynae character being Spectro, I would love for Jin C to be able to use Spectro Frazzle, allowing Lynae to give the benefits of using negative status for Jin C. I don't know how. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I hope they will do that. I hope they will try to do that. At least because Kuro Games did mention that they are willing to focus more on negative status effect for all the characters, for the future characters. So yes, being a Spectro unit, allowing Jin C to be able to play in a team of Mono Spectro would be lovely in a way. I would love for that to happen. Now, let's talk about the character that I will be pulling for. I will be skipping for Lynae. I have no incentive to pull for Lynae. I don't have Jin C, but I know people that have Jin C and they want this to happen, and I'm all for it. Mornye.
What is going on?
What is going on? Her character doesn't say anything. It doesn't speak to me as Fusion. And because she's handicapped, I mean, it looks like she's handicapped. She doesn't have legs, okay? That is not a human-like legs. She has glass, prosthetic type legs. I was really hoping for Glacio Chef to make an entrance by using this character, Mornye. That would have been great. I thought it would be nice in a way. But I guess not. Maybe because her eyes is so red. Hey, we got Fusion. And I don't know how they're gonna make her a Broadblade user. Here's what I'm expecting them to do. She's not gonna wield a Broadblade. That's never gonna happen. She can't. Okay? With that skinny arms, we got Arataki Ito arms here, okay? Skinny noodle arms, she's not gonna be able to carry a Broadblade. She's gonna make the Broadblade float. She's probably gonna use her mines or something. She's probably gonna require some sort of mechanical gadget surrounding her that will allow her to carry that Broadblade. I just can't help but think Kuro Games are just being petty here. They don't want you to predict all these characters, elements, attributes, or their weapon signature. They want it to be unpredictable, and they got us. They definitely got us. First thing in my mind, she will be a Glacio attack. But you know what? Fusion, that's fine. Give us a support unit. We got enough DPS for Fusion. We just got Gabren, and there's no way you will add another Fusion character another fusion DPS. Now, Gabrena didn't got fusion burst though. Gabrena didn't got the negative status effect. So that is what she needs to be. Mornye here needs to be able to use negative status effect. I am so done with Kuro games giving out this hope that, hey, we're gonna focus on negative status effect. But for so many characters, Gabrena, Chuyuan, Prolova didn't have the Havoc Bane. Negative status was announced before Cantarella released. So I was expecting Cantarella to have Havoc Bane, but it never did. Prolova didn't got Havoc Bane, Gabrena didn't got any Fusion Burst, nor did Chuyuan got Aero Erosion. So now we need the Fusion Burst coming from this character Mornye. Now let's get into deeper why she is a support unit. How is she gonna perform as a support unit? Now look, we have a lot of support units, okay? We have Brant, we have Lupa, and that creates some sort of mono fusion units. We can even play mono fusion just by having Lupa and in a Gabrena team. So I do not think that Mornye will be a mono fusion team. It makes no sense. We already got that. We got Lupa and she can carry the whole fusion team, right? We don't need that anymore. Like I said, Lupa can carry herself, Brant and Changli, and make even other different teams with Fusion, Lupa, Encore, Gabrena. You can do any sorts of teams as long as you have Lupa. So Mornye skip the whole mono fusion thing. She needs to be a support, but her capability of giving outro skill, she will have something unique. So what I'm thinking right now is that she's gonna be some sort of scientist that have gadgets all the time. Just by looking at this illustration right here, you can see like there's this ball thing. It looks like a ball that can attack while she's off field. So I'm assuming that that's gonna be some sort of coordination attack. Now I know I mentioned that Lynae here should be a coordinated attacks for GNC, right? But it doesn't have to be just her. Coordinated attacks works all around a lot of characters. So she can just be a coordinated unit without being a dedicated support for GNC. Now I know a lot of people will disagree with this. It's gonna seem so overused because another unit is already a coordinated attacks for GNC. Look, I've given a lot of thoughts into this, okay? Fusion Burst. Some fusion attacks will apply a stackable Fusion Burst effect to the target. When Fusion Burst is stacked to its mass, all stacks will be removed to trigger an explosion dealing fusion damage around the target. Now this will create some sort of explosion around the target, some AoE effect once the Fusion Burst will fully stack. Now they specifically mention stack to its mass. Now when it's fully stacked, it will explode, will create some sort of AoE effect. So you need coordinated attacks or Fusion Burst effect to stack up to 10 times by default, okay? 10 times. You need to constantly inflict Fusion Burst to all the other enemies surrounding you. This way, your characters will be capable of getting the Fusion Burst to its max stacks over and over and over, not just one time and then boom. That is boring. I do not want it to happen. It needs to be a couple times at least, like 3 to 4 times of the explosion from the Fusion Burst. Now, unfortunately, this effect probably won't be all that great if you're fighting bosses, but thankfully, this is not that type of game. If you're in Wuthering Waves, if you're in Tower of Adversity, you will see a lot of mobs in groups, right? So this character is gonna be so good to play when there's a lot of enemies surrounding you, like a lot of small mobs that usually needs grouping. Well, this character will help. You don't need grouping because the Fusion Burst will be big enough, I guess. I really hope so. That will be big enough for it to explode for your surroundings. And yes, I do think this will need for this character to inflict Fusion Burst off field. Well, that is my thought for what these characters are going to be about. Do you agree with it? Do you dislike it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. See ya.